Hello everyone, it's Tsuki and we're back with the Let's Play. So we're here in the Twin Adder Barracks, our grand company, and yeah, we're gonna pick up this promotion quest, Shadows Uncast. You need to be level 44 in order to do it. And this should send us to do, as it says, Dzemael Darkhold, which is an optional dungeon you can start doing at level 44. There's actually several ways to unlock this. One way is to unlock it through the Grand Company by ranking up, like we just did right there. And the other way is to just talk to the NPC in the Observatorium of COERTHAS, and he will direct you to Dzemael Darkhold as well. And you can actually just grab both the quests and complete them both at the same time. There's really no reason not to. In fact, I would highly recommend you rank up in your Grand Company first. Because you're going to have to do Dzemael Darkhold a second time when you need to rank up your Grand Company otherwise. So making sure to do this whilst doing your Grand Company rank up is probably the best way. And I believe it is the exact same for the next optional dungeon at level 47, which is Arm Vale. I believe they changed the promotion dungeon to Arm Vale from Wanderer's Palace, I believe it was. It used to be. But yeah, Wanderer's Palace is an optional level 50 dungeon. But I guess they changed to Arm Vale for some reason. I don't know if it's actually any more helpful or not doing that. But I guess you can theoretically get to what was previously the max rank for Grand Companies for a long time. They, like, I think a couple patches ago added in another rank. Or maybe that was in that was sometime in Heavens where they added in another rank. But it took them forever to add in another rank after that, so who knows when we'll actually get the next one, maybe 6.0. But yeah, here's the other quest to unlock Dzemael Darkhold. They both send you to the exact same spot. The only difference is this quest simply just points you in the direction of Dzemael Darkhold, whereas the Grand Company one, you actually have to complete it as well in order to finish the quest and get your promotion. And you know, promoting up your Grand Company is helpful in a lot of ways. Increases your max amount of Grand Company seals. I'm pretty sure it unlocks the squadron mechanic or feature, I guess, not mechanic, that I have actually not done a whole lot of, but soon maybe I'll do more of it. It's actually not something I've touched that much, honestly. And also you get to buy gear and items with your Grand Company seals. So here's the Dzemael Darkhold. So let's go ahead and get into queue. It says about 10 minutes. Last time we did Stone Vigil, it was like instant. It was nice. It was great. And I guess while we're waiting, we can finish up some of these daily quest from the Beastman, since we did that. Was that last video? We either did that last video or Ninja. I really need to actually work on getting Bard leveled up. I'm probably going to level Bard off camera for the most part, and just you know, tune in when we do job quests until we start actually needing to do Bard to do some of the content to help divert our EXP gains. That was the whole purpose of me leveling Bard on top of Ninja. Otherwise, we're just kind of wasting EXP, and it just seems like, well, you know, a waste. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter if all I wanted to play on this character was Ninja, but I don't mind it, I guess. It feels wrong to waste that much EXP, and it would be a really big waste of EXP. Like, there's a ton of EXP to go around. I haven't actually tried leveling a character from 1 to 70 with the current situation of how fast you level and how much EXP you actually gain, so it'll be a nice experiment to see what actually ends up happening. Hopefully we're not like level 60 going into Heavensward Story because we've just leveled that much. Although I highly doubt. Oh, look at that. Relatively quickly. Alright, I want to actually try and finish this. Never mind, there's 2 more. Let's just go. If you, I'm pretty sure if you queue into a dungeon, you automatically get dismounted from your mount. Your special mount. That's basically just there for the daily quest, but I can do that later. Not a big deal. I just have to go back to the MDC and get on the mount again. Alright, Dzemael Darkhold. I'm actually not a huge fan of this dungeon. It's one of my least favorite dungeons in the game. It's real. Hey, look, a full Lala party. Look at that. Midget party. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this dungeon. It's just, I don't like it. You have to stand in these like circle things to unlock the dungeon, and it's actually really easy to completely cheese the majority of this first boss trash pull. If you stand in these crystal lights right here, you take an extremely reduced amount of damage. I should have actually put on goad. But you take an extreme reduced amount of damage, so you can just pull like everything in the dungeon. You can just pull and kill them all in these crystal zones and pretty much be fine. I'm gonna actually go ahead and take off like Feint or something and throw on Goad. Yeah, I'll just take off Feint, put on Goad. I have Goad on my bar, right? I don't. What? I don't have Goad on my bar. Whoops. That might be something to put on my bar. That might be helpful. Just saying. Yeah, but there's like these little key thingies you have to actually stand on. It's really annoying. I don't know why that had to be a thing. Honestly, like a lot of people will tell you that they don't like this dungeon, they don't like Armvale. Personally, I would actually rather do Armvale than this dungeon. I hate this dungeon so much. I believe that circle thing, you stand in it and it unlocks stuff. I think that just unlocks an optional room which has crafting materials in it. There's a lot of side paths in this dungeon as well. Come on, go all the way down. Let's go. Guess we should try and stand in this, huh? I'm gonna put down Doton. You also notice that I actually changed my futon gauge to the ugly looking bar. I just could not justify having a freaking pinwheel on my HUD just for a freaking timer. Like, come on. Another thing over here. Yeah, but there's actually, these are the key things you have to stand in. It's really annoying. The more people who stand in it, the faster it unlocks. And there's several of these throughout the dungeon. It's really annoying. Why would you do this? Just have a normal door that has to be opened after you kill things. Can I just click this off? Kind of wish you could just click off hide a little more easily. Maybe there is an easier way. I'm not sure. Oh goodness. I might actually need to consider taking Diversion before I unlock Shadewalker. Like just for level 50 content. I don't think it should be that much of a deal. The gimmick for this boss is to just he's only vulnerable while standing in these crystal lights. And the crystal light areas will shift and they'll change. So you'll have to actually move the boss around, but as long as you're standing in these crystal lights, you actually take like no damage. It's ridiculous. Also just messed up there. I should have reapplied Huton. I'm not used to actually having Huton. Actually, to be fair, I actually just got it, so give me a little time to adjust. Yep, crystal's gone. Where's the next one? Over here. Honestly, you don't have to kill the ads just because even if they pile up, they don't do a whole lot of damage since you're standing in these crystal areas. Honestly, I tend to personally ignore them unless I notice that my team is going out of the way to kill them. But it's like there's so many ads and they just keep spawning. It's like just seems more intuitive to just focus the boss down. There we go. Right as the crystal faded. Good job, us. Oh yeah. There is one thing about this dungeon. It's the first dungeon to give you skimpy gear, you know. So if you want to wear skimpy gear, this is the dungeon for you. And the funny thing is, for whatever reason, this is like the only dungeon out of like all the dungeons where the gear, the green grade gear that you can get from this dungeon is actually tradable. So you can even trade the skimpy gear. So you can share the skimpy gear around. And the funny thing is, as well, is that the skimpy gear is actually really useful because, at least the chest piece is, because it actually has a lot of defense and stuff. It also has 3 materia slots and like more stats than usual, more secondary stats rather. So it's actually the chest piece rather is rather decent to use with the rest of your AF set that you should have from doing the level 45 quests. The tank might die. That's scary. Yeah, the tank's dead. Alright, well, we're gonna be dead soon as well if we don't be careful. Run, Dragoon, run! Don't worry, I got this. I got Shadewalker and second wind. I'm actually kind of surprised that I lived through that. That was fun. Let's do that more often. I keep thinking that this Dark Knight is a Dragoon because his sword, it's so skinny, it actually looks like a lance from a distance. multi-dotting. I remember when multi-dotting used to be like actually a thing for a lot of classes because a lot of classes had dots. And now a lot of classes do not have dots, or have considerably less dots. Even Summoner, which was known for having its dots, lost dots. It's just kind of weird to me how that ended up happening, but I guess reapplying dots is too hard. I kind of wish I actually had like support things to help out the tank, but I'm not actually a bard or anything like that. So I mean, I guess I could take Feint, but like it only works on things that do physical damage. So oh yeah, this next boss is really dumb in my opinion. It's actually just a normal boss. He just does random Kono AoEs, and then he has a bunch of minions you can't target that just throw boulders at you, because that's cool, I guess. So this boss is actually not that difficult if you know how to dodge. If you don't know how to dodge, or you have bad latency, or you're a freaking black mage, then this boss is really annoying. Getting hit with a boulder is not the worst thing in the world, like one of those circle AoEs. Getting hit with his conals is a little more tough. And it looks like you also randomly just take boulders to the face, I guess. Ooh, look at that alien edge. I'm getting excited over like a 500 alien edge. It's like, oh, look at that alien edge. 500 DPS. Let's go. Cobalts. Thank you. I don't know, I have a fascination with using the auto translate function. For some reason, I just do. I mean, it's actually really helpful if what you're trying to say is very simple. Also, if you just happen to be playing with people who don't speak the language you happen to type, I guess. Although I guess that only really happens if you opt into the Duty Fighter settings that just put you into a group regardless of language spoken. And yeah, there's a couple of those circle opener thingies to open the door. I think the scholar stood in one while we were attacking stuff, so we should open that one. There's one to our right, or one that's supposed to be to our right. I just messed up again. I need to keep remembering to keep Futon up. I'm not used to it. Like, I actually spent so long not having it that now that I actually have it, I'm having a hard time remembering that I have it. It's actually the #1 mistake a lot of ninjas make, is not actually putting emphasis on keeping Futon up. If you're not in battle, just having everyone stand in this is totally fine. Alright. It's done. This is actually a bad place to place Doton because the second enemy already died. Should just did Katan or Raiton even. That's another thing a lot of ninjas have a problem with, single target Dotons. Doton does a lot less damage than Raiton. It does more damage than Katan if there's 2 or more enemies and they stand in it for the majority of its duration at least. But otherwise, not really. Also, I just realized we're like at the boss, like the final boss already. This is like the last trash pull, I think. Ooh, skeletons. Spooky, scary skeletons. I actually have AoE now. It's so fun. Okay, I should probably be single target now. It's only 3. Honestly, they're dying so fast. We didn't get the mapping achievement because there's actually quite a few side paths to go down in order to get it. I'm just gonna skip this. Most of these are just boss introduction. So this boss can be tough. He does a lot of damage actually to the tank. And he also does at certain intervals he becomes invincible right here, and then he'll link up to a crystal. You have to just kill the crystal and he'll become vulnerable again. But he'll also do this thing where he just targets someone with a lion AoE, and if you stand in that AoE and you're not a tank, you're probably going to die. I'm pretty sure it one-shots you. Maybe Dragoons can survive it if they have enough HP, since they have more HP on their gear. But in general, if you're not a tank, that should one-shot you. So don't stand in it. Oh, that was actually a weird... Okay, he didn't actually limit break. It's like, that's a weird place to limit break. Especially, you should get limit break too in this fight by the end. I want True North. I don't actually need to use True North. Like, I have 1 positional. Well, 2 positionals if you count Trick Attack. Don't stand in the purple puddles. Also, I'm pretty sure he does a lot of cleaves. Like, not that. That just always happens. But he does like this really big slashing move, and I'm pretty sure it's a cleave, so it will hit you if you're standing in the front with the tank. Honestly, you could have just limit breaked 1 and been fine. Yeah, that thing. It also just killed the tank. That was fun. Yeah, there's also 2 different sets of gear in this dungeon, which is kind of weird. I don't actually think there's full sets. I think it's just body and leg pieces. No, there's head pieces too, I think. But yeah, there's the Colosseum gear, which is the skimpy gear. That's only for mages and DPS for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think there's a tank version of it. And then there's also like some other gear, like Buccaneers gear. I don't know. It's weird. There's 2 sets of gear in there, which is kind of weird. You'd figure they would just put one set in like Arm Veil or something like that, but nope. Although to be fair, if they actually did make a full set, I mean, the only piece that's really worth anything is the chest piece, since even if you go in at level 44, it will only be useful for 1 level basically, because as soon as you hit level 45, you can get your gloves, your headpiece, your pants, and your legs, or your legs and your boots, AF gear, which are, I don't know, 50 I believe, right? Yeah. And those will be the best things you can have, basically, until you get to level 50. Also, I totally forgot I'm not on my main, so these things actually do aggro me. I miss my high level privilege of being so badass that enemies don't even want to mess with me. I guess since I started these, I'll just finish them up and then end the video afterwards. This shouldn't take that long. Can you get over here so I don't actually have to pull a bunch of other stuff? These are actually yesterday's beast tribes. I still need to grab today's beast tribe quests, which is, I guess it's a helpful tip if you need to know that. When it comes to dailies, you can hold on to yesterday's dailies and still be able to do today's dailies once you finish all of yesterday's dailies. I think there's only one thing where it doesn't work that way. I forgot what it was though, but it works that way with Beast Tribe quests. It works that way with Centurio bills, hunt bills, and I guess the allied sealed bills too. I totally disregard those because they're so obnoxious to do and don't reward that much that I just never ended up doing the allied sealed hunt bills, the daily ones that you. Why did I come all the way over here? I needed to get them out. There's one thing, I swear. There's one daily thing that you had to do on the day. And if you kept it overnight, then it would count as that day the next days once the next day hit, I guess. I don't remember what it was though. But at least for Beast Tribe quests and for hunt bills, you can keep yesterday's and do them the following days and still get that days on that day once you finish yesterday's. Does that even make sense? I said so many different types of days. Did that confuse you? Because honestly, it confused me a bit, and I'm the one who said it. So look at all these things that can aggro me. So much fun. Fallen corpses writhe in style. Oh yeah, huh? I forgot that Hildebrand's a thing. That'll be fun. That'll be annoying actually. There's quite a few annoying things when it comes to unlocking some of some of the stuff, like the Alliance raid, you have to like do a bunch of fates for some reason. I don't, why? Why do you have to do fates to unlock stuff? That's so annoying. That fate right there, the Fallen Corpses Writhe in Style, that's a precursor that you have to do to do one of the side story quests that you'll unlock at level 50. What's in here? Alright. There's more beacons inside this circle. This big giant circle. I see one of them. Falafel the Awful. That's a great name. Falafel the Awful. We went through Dzemael Darkhold really quickly. In fact, I think we went through it so quickly, I didn't even have time to like process what I should be saying. Like, I feel like I might have actually dropped a couple topics that I just kind of forgot about in the heat of the moment. So if I did that, then I apologize. Okay, really? I don't want to... No. Do you see how much stuff is here? No, I don't want to do Taken. Liam Neeson. Stop. Oh my god. I'm not going to be able to do this because all of the... You look at how many freaking enemies there are over here. Which is funny. Taken is another one of those fates that you had to do for your Animus books. And I remember sitting here waiting for like 2 hours for it to spawn. Now I just wanted to go away. Should also mention that I actually completed like I think it was 8, 9. I completed 9 Zodiac weapons. Well, that's not true. I completed 7 and I partially did 2 of them, I think. For glamour. I basically just got as far in the step as I wanted for glamour's sake, and then I just stopped. But I completed 7 of them altogether. Why, you ask? That is a good question. Why did I do that? Okay, really? I'm just inclined to sit here and wait for the next 48 seconds for this to go away, because I do not want to fight you, and you're really annoying the crap out of me. Incomplete. No. Grand Company. Okay, well. Yeah. Those are elsewhere. Can I climb this rock, please? This cliff? No? Bet I can climb it on Chocobo. I was wrong. I cannot. There we go. Please go away. Please. 7 seconds. It's really annoying. Like, fates, they're a nice cat. I like how I got gold for that. I like how I completed a challenge for that too. But like fates, you know, they're great. Open world content, very casual, nice source of EXP and Grand Company seals, and very easy to do. You can do them while waiting for your queues for dungeons and stuff. Really great. Really annoying when they're on top of my objectives for my quests though. And also really annoying when they incorporate quests that require you to do fates and you have to sit there and wait for them to spawn. Like if you want to have a fate that locks you behind or that prevents you from doing a quest, like you have to do the fate in order to progress, at least have it so that if you have the quest active, you can trigger the fate. Although I feel like people would probably abuse that, but like, who cares about people abusing fates? Who cares? There's fates all around. You can fate chain things. You just like, why? Also, there's another thing I need to blow up with the Drake that I missed over here. Now I have to go back. What did I miss? This is Ravage? The Ravage? Oh yeah, I know where that is. It's right at the start. I always pass by it because I'm on the Drake. I think I also, since I'm gathering keys, I think I have to actually go free prisoners as well. Because I'm gathering cage keys. So this is a 2-part quest. Man, that bar on top is so ugly. Why couldn't we just keep the regular Huton icon? Like, why? Why? I know why, because when Stormblood launched, they wanted every job to have a gauge, and they just made the gauge fit in somewhere, even though the jobs didn't need them. That's why. You can kind of tell too when the job didn't really have that much of a purpose. Like, they just tacked on the gauge and tacked on maybe like one or two abilities that like fit into that, and you can tell that they just really just designed those abilities to fit the gauge and nothing else. There's so many jobs like that actually. Like some jobs it's actually really useful. Like I guess the gauge is kind of useful for Astrologian. I'd say it's pretty useful there. What else? Black Mage. The way Black Mage is designed, it's fairly useful. Machinist and Bard are extremely useful. Red Mage and Samurai, since they were actually designed in Stormblood, obviously their gauges are much more fleshed out and therefore useful. Basically, any job that had its design like completely overhauled, like Machinist and Bard, their gauges fit in really well. Any job that seems really similar, their gauges are just kind of tacked on. Like Monk, you didn't need a freaking gauge from Monk. You didn't need a gauge for Ninja either, really. Like, you have the Huton gauge, which we see now, but at like level 62, you unlock like this other gauge that goes up to 100 when you auto attack. I think it goes up by 6 every time you auto attack. And you basically only use the gauge for that on like a handful of abilities, and those abilities could have easily just been on a normal cooldown like anything else. I feel the same way about like all 3 tanks as well. Like, yeah, there's kind of a small use. I feel like Warriors is the only one that warranted having a gauge, but I actually do kind of miss the old just 5-stack thing. I feel like I'm just rambling on like if there's actually a new player watching this, they'll be like, what the heck are you even talking about, Tsuki? My experience with this game is only what I've seen you play, and you're sitting here talking about all these things that I have no knowledge about. Like, this is the kind of ranting that should be in like a commentary long play or something. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've already ranted about this somewhere. It's amazing just how many rants I just managed to fit into my commentary videos. Okay, that actually took a lot longer than I expected it to take. Just because there was so much having to go back and forth. And also getting unnecessarily aggroed by so many. Oh my god, look at this. This is also another fate that you had to do for your anima books. Fun. There was what? There's 9 books. There's 3 fates per book, so there's 27 fates. And I did them so many times that anytime I see one, I can just point to it and be like, yep, I remember standing there for 3 hours waiting for that to spawn. Totally. And even now that they patched the spawn timers, they still take a while to spawn. Like, I think they can still take like up to an hour to spawn some of them. But yeah, I forgot we actually have to go turn this in to promote ourselves. And then the next promotion should be at 47, which sends us into Armvale, I believe. Again, there's another quest. There's a side quest that sends you to Armvale, I think, in by Nedrick. the guy outside the Waking Sands who gave us the quest for Karn. And Halatali, I believe, too. I believe he gives you a quest to unlock Arm Veil, but you should probably do Arm Veil when you're ranking up with the your Grand Company, just to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so you don't have to go back and do them. Especially since I consider the Dzemael Darkhold and Arm Veil to be 2 of the most hated dungeons from A Realm Reborn. People really don't like those dungeons. Myself included, I actually don't mind Arm Veil that much. The Dzemael Darkhold, though, not a fan. Yeah, thank you. Also, it's worth noting that doing that quest doesn't actually promote you. You still have to actually go and promote yourself, and it costs the seals to do that. So that's fun. Yay, fun. Can I buy any new gear now? You can buy like mid 40 gears now. Yeah. There's actually nothing I really need here unless there's a belt, because my belt's kind of outdated. The weapons though are actually pretty useful. Like look at this. This weapon is actually +1 item level than what I'm wearing now. So the weapons are useful if you have spare seals. They actually cost quite a bit of seals, considering the amount of seals you probably have ranking up and spending on ranks or promotions rather. So you probably won't have a whole lot of seals to spare ranking up, but once you hit level 50 and you just start picking up just a bunch of gear from dungeons and stuff like that to turn in for expert delivery, that's usually where all of your seals will come from, is either from fate grinding your heart out, because and also your mind, because you'll probably lose your mind doing that. But it's probably the number 2 or 2 best ways rather to get seals is turning in stuff for expert delivery from dungeons and raids and stuff, and also just fate grinding. I guess you could do Grand Company leaves as well. That's how I've been getting most of my Grand Company seals, but it's basically the same thing as doing a fate. It's just you're spawning the fate, basically. That's basically what a Grand Company leave is. That's what a leave is. A leave is just you spawning a fate for you to do that is only for you. That's basically how I see leaves. But yeah, that was the Dzemael Darkhold and me rambling on for like 15-20 minutes. Hope you enjoyed. I think we're all out of side stuff to do at the moment, other than just daily beast hunt stuff. But again, I'm just gonna do most of that off camera until we have new story stuff to put in. But yeah, I think we're all done with side story stuff, so we can go ahead and continue with the main story in the next video. I'm just going to, yeah, right here, Camp Drybone. So next time you see me, I'll be in Camp Drybone. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sayonara, bye bye.